guys, it's Katie and I'm here today to do the Harry Potter tag. I was tagged by Linda at Linda's World of Books, and obviously I adore all things Harry Potter. I'm going to do this book tag in a British accent. So yeah, that's something you can look forward to and probably make fun of me for it. Let's get into the questions. Number 1. What house are you in? So, if you guys have been following my channel for quite a while, you know that I am a hat stall between Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. And just to illustrate that fact, I have my incredibly long Hufflepuff scarf, which is actually from my alma mater, because we had the same colours. I've also got a Ravenclaw scarf that I got from my friend whose bachelorette party was Harry Potter themed. So, yeah, I'm a complicated case. So we're just gonna wear both of these the entire video and we're just gonna go with it. So you guys might have seen my video about my Hogwarts house journey, and I'm going to tell you to go watch it because it really helps explain my house dilemma and then ultimately why I picked what I picked. And I'm saying that I'm more of a Ravenclaw at the moment than I am Hufflepuff because of the personality versus traits I admire argument. And since I tend to buy into the traits I admire argument, that's what I'm going to say I identify as, but who knows really. So yeah. Number 2, what is your Patronus? I've taken the Patronus quiz several times, I think 3 actually, and the first 2 times I got 2 different types of hound, and then the 3rd time I took it I got a Goshawk. So depending on which account you're on. Number 3, what is your wand? And I forgot my notebook, so I'm just going to pull up Pottermore. So my wand is made of acacia wood, has a unicorn hair core, is 10 3/4 inch in length, and it has quite bendy flexibility. So let's read a little bit more about my wand. Acacia. Acacia is a very unusual wand wood, which I have found creates tricky wands that often refuse to produce magic for any but their owner, and also without their best efforts from all but the most gifted. This sensitivity renders them difficult to place, and I keep only a small stock for those witches or wizards of sufficient subtlety. For acacia is not suited to what is commonly known as bangs and smells magic. When well matched, an acacia wand matches for any power, though it is often underrated due to the peculiarity of its temperament. Well, that fits me quite well, I think. I don't know. I have the unicorn core, which this is what it says. Unicorn hair generally produces the most consistent magic and is least subject to fluctuations and blockages. Wands with unicorn cores are generally the most difficult to turn to the dark arts. They are the most faithful of all wands and usually remain strongly attached to their first owner, irrespective of whether he or she was an accomplished wit or wizard. Minor disadvantages of unicorn hair are they do not make the most powerful wands, although the wand wood may compensate, and they are prone to melancholy if seriously mishandled, meaning that the hair may die and need replacing. I find that to be quite ironic compared to what I have for my wand wood, because my wand wood is unusual, but the unicorn core is very, very common, and I don't know, I just think that they might balance each other out, and maybe when it says that the wand wood may compensate for the most powerful wands, that might be the case for mine, but I don't know. Then 10 3/4 inch in length, it's really just talks about how most wands are between the ranges of 9 and 14, so I'm kind of on the short end, it seems like, and he just kind of goes through that. And then the quite bendy flexibility portion says, wand flexibility or rigidity denotes the degree of ability and willingness to change possessed by the wand and owner pair, although again, this factor ought not to be considered separately from the wand wood, core and length, nor of the owner's life experience and style of magic, all of which will combine to make the wand in question unique. So, I mean, nothing spectacular about that. Number 4, what would your boggart be? And I said that my boggart would probably take the form of a clown. I hate clowns with the biggest passion. I hate clowns, but then I've also taken a great disliking to geese lately, so maybe. But I don't know, I have a lot of different fears, and the boggart could take up the form of all of them, depending on the situation I was in, I think, or where I was at during my life. So I don't know, it depends, I think. Number 5, what position would you play in Quidditch? I would probably definitely be a keeper. I'm definitely not a seeker, and I'm definitely not a beater or chaser. I'd definitely be a keeper. It would just be the best position for me, I think. I don't know. Number 6, would you be a pureblood, half-blood, or muggle-born? And I'd probably either be a pureblood or a half-blood, mostly because of the way that I think, you know, my parents go. My mum is very, very much of the magic side. My father, he's a little bit more on the unpredictable side of things, I think. He is, he likes Harry Potter enough, but I don't necessarily know if he would be of the magical sort. So that's why I say maybe half-blood, but because he actually does like it, even in the slightest bit, that could potentially change me more over to the pure blood side. It's complicated, I think. Number 7, what job would you want to have after leaving Hogwarts? So I'd either want to go and work at Flourish and Blots, which is the bookshop in Diagon Alley, or I'd go and do something in the Ministry of Magic, because they do a lot of really great change. They make a lot of really great changes in the world, and they keep a lot of things going and flowing, and just a governmental position. I don't know, there's so much flexibility with those kinds of things, so I might be really well suited for that, since I'm very flexible and have multiple different interests. I don't know. So maybe ideally it would be work at the Ministry of Magic and have a side hobby of working at Flourish and Blots. I don't know. I don't know. Number 8. Which of the Deathly Hallows would you choose? I'm definitely between picking the Invisibility Cloak and the Resurrection Stone, which might surprise some people. I'd pick the Invisibility Cloak because you could literally go anywhere without being tracked or seen, and just kind of chill and do your own thing and be alone. So I mean, I think a lot of people would probably pick the cloak. But another reason I'd pick the Resurrection Stone is because, I don't know, I have a fascination with a lot of past things and history things and whatnot. So maybe raising someone from the past and getting to talk to them and have a discussion with them for at least a period of time might be really, really interesting. And I don't know, it would just be really cool, I think. It would almost be like having a time turner, but like using historical figures instead. I don't know. 9. Which is your favourite of the books? If you asked me this before last year, I would have probably said either Deathly Hallows or Order of the Phoenix, but since my reread from last year, I am definitely 100% going to say The Goblet of Fire. Number 10. What's your least favourite book? Really, realistically, I'm probably going to say The Cursed Child, because J.K. Rowling considers it to be part of the canon, but while literally no one else considers it to be the canon, I'm also going to pick probably another book, and that's The Half-Blood Prince. I just didn't love it as much as I loved the other ones. I don't know what it was, but it's definitely not my favorite. Even though it's not a bad book by any means, and we learned so much in that book, it's just not the one that I tend to gravitate towards. Number 11. What's your favorite film? I think I also picked The Goblet of Fire for this one too, because of the way it was acted and just how some of the scenes were. Plus, one of my favorite, or just one of my ships of all ships, is in that particular film and book. So I just really like getting to see them interact on screen. It's just really, really fun for me. Number 12, what's your least favorite film? I think I'll probably say Deathly Hallows Part 1. I don't know, it just felt a bit draggy to me in parts. But I don't really dislike any of the films. I almost see them as separate from the books, except for the way I envision the characters, because they're so different. The way that the books are and the way that the movies are, they took almost a different path, even though they're telling the same story. The movies left out a lot of stuff, a lot of key things, in my honest opinion, and just there was more to the books, so I just tend to prefer the actual books to the movies. But it's really just hard to say which one I disliked, because I almost see them as separate mediums. But I'll probably say Deathly Hallows Part 1, because... Number 13. Who is your favourite character? Well, besides the trio, because I do love my trio, I'm probably going to say Severus Snape. Not for the reasons that you're thinking. I know this is an incredibly unpopular opinion, but I really like Snape as a complex character. I'm not excusing all the things that he did by any means, but I really enjoy not knowing where his character stood 95% of the series, and then just constantly going back and forth between hating him and kind of being intrigued by him. I just love morally grey characters, and I really enjoy complex characters, so I definitely really enjoyed Snape. That being said, I really just like all of the characters for different reasons, so it's just hard to pick a favourite, I think. But yeah, Snape is definitely one that I think about often. Number 14, least favourite / most hated character. I really don't think this is any contest. I despised Umbridge with my entire being. I mean, a lot of people will probably say Voldemort. Number 15, who is your favourite teacher at Hogwarts? Probably McGonagall. She's just no nonsense, but she's snarky and witty and just funny, and I really enjoy her as a general person. However, I will also say I adore Lupin with my entire soul, so it's definitely a tie between those two. Number 16, least favourite teacher at Hogwarts. And this is another tie. Umbridge for sure, but I've already talked a little bit about her. But then also Lockhart. I just really hated Lockhart, especially upon this reread. He was just so irritating, and I wanted to murder him the entire time. 17. Do you have any unpopular opinions about the series? I mean, I think everyone does, which is interesting because everyone has their own ships and their own interpretations about things, their own characters that they like and that they dislike, and that's going to always be an potentially unpopular opinion with a group of people at any given point in time. But any that really, really just stick out, I don't think so. I mean, besides the obvious that I mentioned earlier, as in, like, I really like Snape as a character. But, yeah, generally not super controversial opinions about this series as a whole. So, probably not. But anyway, switching back to American. That's about all I've got for you today. I am going to literally tag anyone who wants to do this because it's so much fun and there's just never enough Harry Potter. So if you are a Potterhead and you have not done this tag, I'm tagging you. So definitely do it and then come tell me about it so we can talk together. You guys know the drill at this point. Like if you liked, subscribe if you want more content, and click the little bell if you want to be notified whenever I post the video. And comment down below, let me know about what your Hogwarts house is, because you know the eternal question, what's your Hogwarts house? And tell me about your favorite book in the series. And then come follow me on social media and we can expand on that conversation. I have a Twitter and then I have a Goodreads. They're always linked below in the description. And then of course I've got other social media sites, and I'll give you all of those things upon request if you'd like. And then I'll come back with another video for you guys again soon. Okay, bye!